Well, we're here at Imam at the Yukon Delta near the mouth of the Yukon River, and at least in this part of the country, in the Central Yupik language, the word for fish in general is the same word for food. And depending on the area and the species of fish that sustains most people out here, it's certainly salmon. So if you ask someone, have you eaten food, you will be asking them, have you eaten fish? And here, it's specifically, have you eaten salmon? Because that's sort of the mainstay of the economy and culture. 5 of the previous 7 years, there were biological or economic disasters declared because of the low salmon returns. It focuses the concern and fears for the resource, made everyone realize that if we don't do something now for this resource, we may not have a resource to worry about or fight about or negotiate about in the future.
The Yukon River empties the 5th largest drainage in North America into the Bering Sea and has some of the longest salmon migrations in the world. Survival of salmon stocks means cooperation between Canada and the U.S., Yukon and Alaska, and all the fisheries along the river. The Yukon River Salmon Agreement represents years of negotiation, a major achievement for the people who manage and depend upon the salmon. During years of good run strength, managers allow fisheries to harvest more, while during years of poor run strength, managers regulate fisheries to harvest less or none.
They used to tell stories of king salmon, and they have when those cottons start flowing in the springtime, you see them flowing around, and they'll say, "Gosh, gosh, gosh, king salmon is coming," and that's to show the people that get ready now, get your camps ready, get going.
The kings used to be really big. Now there's not that much fish, so we pretty much play. I mean, what little fish we could get, we just put in the smokehouse or put away in the freezer, and then we swim. And that way, if the kids could remember that, then they'll always come back. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We share a dependence on the run. I guess what we've got to do is make certain that we understand how the whole run works, and that comes back to this project. We have to look at this as more than just fishing, but as stewarding the resource so that we have it all the time.
So what we're interested in is, when do the Chinook salmon out-migrate? When do they head towards the ocean? And what are the periods when they're moving?
There's a Chinook salmon there. The one with the car marks. This one right here. Okay, so that's a yearling. That's an in-canoe there. That's a lake whitefish. This is a larval sucker and a grayling.
We hold them in aerated tanks, then we knock them out with anesthetic, just long enough to take measurements from them, weights and lengths. We put them in a recovery tank and then re-release them. One of the things we're going to do with this project is develop an index into freshwater productivity. So what that basically means is a window into how many fish result from the fish that get to spawn in each year.
What are the options that my grandkids are going to have? My grandkids can go and run a computer somewhere or run a bulldozer placer mining, but I'd like them to have the option to come out here and make their living from the river too. And I think the more we limit those options, the more we limit our own ability to survive. And I think we've got to think about that.
Our fish are probably going to be the ones that are the first to go, because they have to go through so much by the time they get to us. We don't ask for much. All we want is a couple thousand fish for our people, just to feed themselves. That's all. There's no commercial fishery. This is all people take these to eat.
We've always been taught that we're part of the land and a part of the water as the Tlingit people. And as stewards of this land, then it is our responsibility to sustain that food harvest. And a part of doing that for us is to be part of the management and ensuring that at least 2 days of the week is shut down for our harvest so that we're cooperating with the management to sustain that food harvest for future generations to come.